Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Raghu here. In this class, we'll discuss an example about inference formulas. In our last class, we discussed a few examples. There we clearly explained how to solve these examples. So please watch that class and come back here. These are bit complex examples. If you don't have previous understanding, it's not easy to understand these examples. Please watch our previous classes and come back here. The link for the playlist is provided in the description below. Coming to today's class, let's take this example. S disjunction R. We need to show that S disjunction R is tautologically implied by given proposition. Means this proposition is tautologically implied to S disjunction R. What is this proposition? P disjunction Q conjunction P implies R conjunction Q implies S. So you need to understand this question is same as show that S disjunction R is valid inference from the premises, means from the propositions. They have provided few propositions. What's those propositions? P disjunction Q, they removed and P implies R, same as comma. Next proposition is Q implies S. Yes, in between these propositions, placing conjunction is not a problem. This point we clearly discussed when we discussed the inference equations. And in our previous examples, when we discussed tautological implication also, we discussed this. Understanding inference formula. All these examples we clearly explained about this point, why we have placed and in between this. There is nothing wrong. Removing this and making it as three different propositions they have provided. So these two examples are same. If they have given this, you can convert this into the second example. Remove this and make it as three different propositions. From these propositions, we need to conclude that S disjunction R is a valid inference. So now and one more important point you need to get in your mind. S disjunction R, but our propositions is in the form of P implies R, Q implies S. It is in the form of S. So S disjunction R can be written as, from the equivalence formulas, S disjunction R can be written as negation S implies R. P implies Q can be written as negation P or Q. Same as S disjunction R can be written as negation S implies R. Means somehow if you use the inference formulas using these three premises, if you conclude that negation S implies R, then you can convert this into S disjunction R. And one more point you need to get into your mind. P implies Q, Q implies R. The I13 formula, inference formula which we discussed. P implies Q, Q implies R can be written as P implies R. So the basic formulas which we discussed, if you get, and the equivalence formulas which we discussed in our previous classes, if you are good at those equivalence formulas and inference formulas, solving them is, this type of questions is very easy. This entire unit, propositional logic, is completely based on those formulas, equivalence formulas and proposition formulas. So try to understand those formulas as much as possible. So now coming to this, given these three propositions, so from these propositions, P disjunction Q can be converted into negation P implies Q from the equivalence formulas. Why we converted this into negation P implies Q? Because remaining propositions are in the form of implies, and we had the I13 inference rule. Implies can be converted. In order to match that, we are converting P disjunction Q is converted into negation P implies Q. So we are having the premises. This is first premise, second and third. So this is the P implies Q can be written as negation P or Q. Negation P implies Q can be written as P or Q. These are the equivalence formulas. For understanding purpose we have written. So now try to understand. Negation P implies Q, Q implies S. This is exactly in the form of I13, transitive. negation P implies Q, Q implies S. From I13, P implies Q, Q implies R can be written as P implies R. So this can be, these two propositions, we can conclude that negation P implies yes. Finally, which one you have to get? Yes implies something, that is how you have to get the output. Negation S implies R. That is what you need to get. So from these two, we can conclude that negation P implies yes. So total how many premises we have? 1, 2, 3. We concluded one more, which is negation P implies yes. Total 4 premises are there. From these 4 premises, we need to conclude negation S implies R. So check that. So negation P implies yes, but here we are having P implies R. Can we use these two? Yes, we can use these two, because in our equivalence formulas we clearly discussed that P implies Q is equal to negation Q implies negation P. See, we can turn around. This is very important point. P implies Q, negation Q implies negation P. The same thing we are going to use here. Negation P implies yes. Turn around. Negation S implies P. These two are same. Why we turned it around? Because negation S implies P, and one more premise, P implies R. We can apply I13. From this two, negation S implies P, P implies R. From this two, we can conclude that negation S implies R, which is what we required. So the complete logic is based on the equivalence formulas and inference formulas. So what the output we needed, how we are going to get that? So with practice, you are going to get the logics very easy. You do multiple examples. That is what you need to do. We are going to provide multiple different examples and their solutions in our website learningmonkey.in. So coming to this, finally from this two, negation S implies P, P implies R. From I13, if you are having these two premises, we can conclude that negation S implies R. This can be written as S disjunction R. So from the given premises, we concluded that S disjunction R is a valid premise. This is the other way they are going to ask is S disjunction R is tautologically implied by the premises. In between they have provided AND. Now coming to the next example. See the second example. Show that R conjunction P disjunction Q is a valid conclusion from the premises P disjunction Q, Q implies R, P implies M, negation M. So here also we are having this in the form of implies, but our output should be in the form of conjunction. So and one more point you have to observe here, P disjunction Q, it is a valid premise, it is already provided in the input. So no need to say that, no need to show this P disjunction Q is valid because it is already given in the input. P disjunction Q conjunction R means from this premises you need to show that R is a valid premise. If you show that R is a valid premise and R conjunction P disjunction Q, it is a valid premise, you can place AND in between these two. This point, why we can place AND in between these two, discussed previously. Again, we are not explaining. If from the given premises, if you show that R is a valid premise, that's enough. You can place AND in between these two. R and P disjunction Q. So from the given premises, we need to show that, see these are in the form of Q implies R, P implies M, negation M. So we have to convert in the form of implies. So that's why P implies M, negation M. From this two, this is in the form of I12, inference rule 12. I12 means negation Q, P implies Q, that is equivalent as negation P. From the I12 inference formula, negation Q, P implies Q. This is same as negation Q, P implies Q, can be written as negation P. So from these four premises, we concluded that negation P is a valid premise. So total how many premises Now we are going to have 5 because this is a valid. So we are having 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and the fifth one. From these 5 premises, we have to conclude that R is a valid premise. So from this negation P, see here, P disjunction Q can be written as negation P implies Q. So everything bring back to implies. So from this fifth one and the first one, this is the first one, this is the fifth one. Negation P comma negation P implies Q. I11 P comma P implies Q can be written as Q. So here negation P implies Q can be written as Q. So from the given 4 and the fifth premise, we concluded that Q is a valid proposition. So using this 6, we have to conclude that R is a valid premise. So from this sixth one, Q, and we are having Q implies R. So from this 2, we can conclude that R is a valid premise because Q comma Q implies R, which is in the form of P comma P implies Q. From the I11, P comma P implies Q can be written as Q. Here Q comma Q implies R can be written as R. So from the given premises, we concluded that R is a valid premise, and it was already given that P disjunction Q is a valid premise. So these two we can, in between we can place and. Valid means this is true value, this is also true value. This entire equation is going to be a true value if you can place and in between these two. So that's why you can place and in between these two. So finally we concluded that R conjunction P disjunction Q is a valid premise from the given 4 premises. Hope you understand how we are going to use inference formulas and equivalence formulas in order to conclude these examples. If you have any questions regarding the concept, please post your questions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you.